welcome everyone to the Patreon episode.
I was so tempted to burp into the microphone just now, and I held myself back.
You're a strong man.
Yeah.
I'm glad you told us,
Thank you. I'm really glad someone appreciates my strength for holding back burps. Yeah.
You are. This is the very first Rage of the Sea Patreon episode, so hopefully I'm saying welcome to some new patrons. Thanks for joining us.
Starting off strong.
Oh, yeah. It couldn't be better.
How'd you do it? Let's double back. Jake, you start it.
No, I just love that. We're like, well, welcome to the first Patreon, guys. I almost burped into the microphone just then.
We're being authentic. We're being real here. That's what we do at Patreon.
I was drinking soda, and I wanted to be honest about that factoid.
Yeah. Here at Patreon, it's low edit, high honest.
We're not the company Patreon. I want to be clear. Here at Patreon Incorporated.
Here at the Night's Quest Patreon feed.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
There's low edit, high honesty. How's that?
Varied quality.
Varying quality.
Low edit, high honesty is what I do for reps when I'm lifting weights.
Low edit, high honesty. I keep that peg all the way up at the top.
I'm not 100% sure that joke makes sense, but I'm standing by it.
It feels right.
We're here now. I just want to say welcome to everyone. Our Patreon episodes will range in topics. Sometimes they're one little shots, one little stories. I'm going to say that sentence again. Sometimes they are one-shot stories to answer questions, parts of the world we don't know. Sometimes they're night times, which is our show behind the show where we answer your questions. So send in your questions on Discord and we will answer them, or in the comments below, I guess.
And sometimes it's just us mercilessly making fun of everything that Nathan says while providing no actual creative effort other than that.
Sometimes? I think that's the second rule of the show. Every joke is canon and make fun of Nathan.
Yeah, if I devote all my energy to making fun of Nathan, no one can criticize me.
If you had to put it into a metaphor, Nathan's trying to drive a car, and we're repeatedly taking the steering wheel away from him and talking about it as he tries to wrestle the steering wheel back from us.
I'm trying to drive the car, and you are popping the tires saying, Nathan, why aren't you going anywhere?
We're like criticizing your placement of how you put your foot on the gas pedal. Yeah.
Nathan, why haven't we moved anywhere? The story hasn't happened. You say actively pushing the car the other direction.
And also, are we there yet?
Constantly pointing at the cows as we drive past. Oh, the cows. I didn't even think about it.
Oh, no.
Cows.
Oh, boy.
So, yes.
This story will have very little to do with cows.
Yeah.
To our friends joining us from Rage of the Sea, all the previous episodes obviously are from our other show, Song of the Hero. So you can go and listen to that. I would recommend listening to the actual podcast first, Song of the Hero, and then the Patreon episodes, because they will be very confusing. But this one
would be a little tough to get into. Yeah,
this one shouldn't be. This is about our crew of the Kaiserion, and our goal with this episode is to answer one question: how did Ticket get on the ship? Now, I need you to know this right now. We don't know the answer to that question at this moment. This is improv, baby. So we're gonna be figuring some things out together, and that's what makes it exciting.
And you might be thinking to yourself, I already know how Ticket got onto the ship. She had a ticket. And my response to that is, well, duh. But there's more to it than that. So you are correct in that the ticket was a vital part of the equation. But there's more.
There's more to that. Okay, now here's what we know so far that I picked up from episode 1, and maybe even episode 2. I can't remember where I wrote these notes. So we got to make this all make sense in the story. Kareen was the reason that they go to port because she made the captain mad. We know this.
Okay.
Zatar didn't go to port. He didn't go on, or at least not the last day.
Kareen, he stayed on the ship.
Yes,
while they were Sure.
Kareen bought rune dust and not froofy fruit. Like she was supposed to. It's key. It's key detail.
Yeah, he was upset about that, yeah.
And they're not even 10 minutes from port when episode 1 starts. So, it's not much wiggle room once we get sailing out. But before that...
Right.
The world's our oyster. So...
Or our clam. Those clams are great.
The world is our aquatic animal of some kind.
It's got to have a shell, though.
Yes.
I have an idea for what Kareen did to piss off the captain and why she needed the rune dust.
Okay.
Ooh.
How do you want to just start in the story and just say it or something?
Yeah. Can I bring us in?
Bring us in.
Okay.
Take us in.
Okay.
Also, the ship is called the port we haven't named yet. Or
the port is called the port we haven't named yet.
The ship's the Caesarea. The port is called
wild if the ship was also called
the port
that.
we haven't named yet.
Yeah.
Or Trinidad. So.
Oh yeah.
Trinidad, yeah.
I forgot about that.
Go ahead, take us in. Take us in.
I would love to. I'm trying so hard to speak with the words that I have in my brain. God, this is like middle school all over again.
No, I don't mean to be a criticizing Connor over here, but I really thought you said that because you had an idea.
I absolutely do, and I'll thank you for making it worse. Please, for the love of all that is holy, cut this out.
I don't know. It's pretty good.
It's super uninteresting to listen to. There will just be a long pause.
I'm having a great time.
I just learned Jamie calls himself a criticizing Connor. Like, that's for me.
I couldn't think of any name that started with CR. I was really drawing a blank. There's got to be something,
Chris?
right? Criticizing Chris, thank you, or Craig. Either one of those would have been better.
Crimberly.
Nope.
Cramuel.
Cramuel. Just gonna write that down on my character sheet for the next character we meet.
Maybe they'll show up in this episode. We're gonna meet Cramuel.
Yeah. All right.
My name is Cramuel Cramberly.
The Caesarion is sailing along the raging sea, smoke billowing from its two smokestacks. And from the mid deck of the ship, there is an explosion. Not an explosion that is of flames and shrapnel, but of multicolored clouds and sound. And once the cloud clears, the smoke has ceased from the two smokestacks, and there is much chaos beneath the deck.
That's probably not good.
And so, just so you know, two patrons, at the point that we're recording this, we have recorded many more episodes of the main feed.
Yeah.
So, just so you know, we might be dropping some details about what's to come accidentally. So, take those nuggets as you will. So, because of this explosion, the crew of the Caesarion itself had to divert its direction to go towards the nearest port of Trinidad. And when they landed, I imagined it as... Let's all think of one thing that makes Trinidad an interesting port.
Well, it's got two names.
So, it's got two names.
That is interesting.
And I will say this, it is on the coast. I think that's pretty key in order for Ticket to board the ship.
As most ports are.
Well, it could be on an island.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's on the mainland.
Yes.
It's on the mainland
Fair
coast.
point. Yes, I will agree with that.
I'm going to say it is primarily inhabited by pale orcs. We might get a pale orc settlement. So that's detail one.
It is... My brain is just jumping to, like, things that don't make sense for a city, like fire somehow. And I'm like, no, that's stupid. That doesn't mean anything.
Fire.
The city is made of fire.
It could have a big like pillar of fire that's just like stationary.
What? How? What?
Boy, we got
magic.
I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I see whatever you just said and I raise you. Well, no, actually, the same thing you just said. There's a big pillar of fire, magical fire.
It's like
in
the beacon. Town. Like instead of a lighthouse, there's just this like constant just pillar of swirling fire. And I'm gonna say it's natural.
It is. It has always been there,
as opposed to mechanical.
As opposed to like a magical. Like we made it there.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, as opposed to somebody cast it. Yeah. And it is it just orange fire or is it some other color or appearance?
Know, man. What color? It's your color.
It's your fire, man.
It's purple.
Purple Fire. That's cool.
Yeah. You know what? This is making me even more upset at whoever decided to name this the port we haven't named yet, because this is so much cooler than that name deserves.
Yeah.
Also,
that was me.
I meant in fiction, Nathan.
Oh, sure.
So the port is on the coast, but it is kind of backed by like very high mountains. There's like a lot of high terrain that descends very quickly to the port town on the coast, and they have like a whole run of like zip lines and like pulley cars for getting like to and from getting things and people to and from the port.
Yes, it does.
Once again, the way you said that makes me think you're like writing down notes or drawing something as you are saying it.
I'm checking my map of where I had put it, and I can just scoot it over a little bit, and it'll work just fine to be next to mountains.
And it is so.
We'll take the
Actually, it's not that bad.
And push it over there.
Do we think the zipline situation, however that works, do we think that is magical or mechanical?
It's
I'm
just
gonna say.
ziplines.
I'm going to say,
I love it.
I think they can be mainly mechanical, but I think there's one rune that they can use to kind of give it a boost. There's a rune that causes things to move.
And is that one blue die or two?
What? Ha ha ha.
I didn't even hear what you said.
So one blue die or two, referring to the boost dice.
It makes me so sad that your face died so fast. Like you were so intrigued, and then it was just okay, all right.
What if like I'm thinking the
crushing Nathan's natural curiosity and storytelling? Yeah.
Well, I just had a cool idea, and then you interrupted me. That's what I'm saying. So I'm thinking
the Knight's Quest story.
Put that on a t-shirt.
Yes.
I had a cool idea and you interrupted me. It's pretty good. No, I'm thinking the purely mechanical ones are like for the common people. But if you've got a little bit of extra coin, you can pay for the magical ones that move a little faster.
That tracks, yeah.
Gotta have our wealth disparity.
I like to think the rich people in this port call it Trinidad, exclusively.
Yes.
And everyone else is just like, it's the port we haven't named yet.
The port we haven't named yet.
Yeah, they didn't vote on it.
Yeah. Probably not. So the Kaisarion pulls up. They're able to find, of course, Trinidad very easily because of the swirling purple column of fire, which has a name. What is the fire column called?
Andy.
What?
Andy.
I hate that you said that because now we have to call it that because that is the joke. Okay. I'm going to say it's spelled
F-I-R-E.
Stop.
Come on.
Okay, so it's Stop. Don't say anything more. You've made it worse. And I have
worse. Or better.
Or better. So hold on. So it's spelled fire.
Yes.
And it's pronounced Andy.
Yes. Andy.
Yes, it is.
So walk me through this. If a person is like, there's like a new person in the port and someone who knows it is like, and this is, would they say the Andy? Or would they just say this is Andy?
This is Andy, as you can tell by its sign. And the sign that just says fire.
Here's a sign.
Forget the rest of the episode.
It's just, but it's like really small. It's like the size of a normal exit sign, and it just says fire. It's just right there.
If this was only in writing, like if we wrote a book about the port we haven't named yet, everyone would go, "Oh, it's fire.
That's fire.
It's fire," and we go, "No,
but no,
it's pronounced Andy." But if you only hear it, you think it's spelled Andy.
I love this.
No, you spelled it wrong.
We have
It's
to come
fire.
back here.
Oh my god.
I'm so excited for this recording because the Nathan of like 8 minutes ago was so full of wonder and enthusiasm when he was like, let's come up with cool and unique details about this city.
I'm really excited for the Nathan like a week from now who hears it in its entirety.
The Nathan right now is deflated and mad.
Are
but
you
he knows
really?
he can't. I can't undo it because it's really funny.
Are you actually mad or are you play mad?
No, I'm like. So here's a little, pulling back the curtains on Patreon. So this is a world, the world of Play-Doh is the one we play in. It's like a big sandbox, and there's a lot of times where I sit down and I'm intentional and I craft out, lore and stories. And then sometimes I say, "Hey guys, do you want to play in this world that I've made?" And they go, "Yeah, let's make a fire pillar called Andy." and I can't say no. Because I've established in writing that every joke is canon, and I can't go back on that. Otherwise, we have nothing.
You can say no if you want to. It just means that you hate all my ideas, even though they're amazing.
Well, also, all our best moments have come from stupid stuff like this. So
you can say no. We don't have to keep being friends.
Yeah, you can say no if you want. This show can just be like boring and dumb if you want. We can name it something like.
Yeah, you can say no if you want to have a serious show. But let's be honest. Man. It's called Andy. It's spelled fire. That's where we're at.
Man.
So the crew of the Kaiserion pulls into port.
It's currently
pulls into a dock.
This phenomenon.
They see Andy just flaring up as Andy do. This big purple fire. And I think I'm going to say they spend a couple days here.
Yeah.
Because they haven't been to port in a while. So they're getting resources. They're just getting their time on land. And I think they have a couple of missions, actually, while they're here at Trinidad. And let's play these out. We're going to do these in two things. So we know that Kareen has to go shopping for things. So that'll be a little minute. But also, we had chatted a little bit that maybe there was another reason that they needed to go to Trinidad. And let's have Captain Flynn and Saoirse do that little side mission.
Yeah. Captain Flynn is in the galley. He is like underneath a car style, working on the furnace or like the oven stove situation because it is currently broken. To the crew's general dismay, as this is the only time the captain is ever at peace is when he is cooking. And he is like full blown, like throwing wrenches and just like not having a good time trying to get this thing fixed, which is partly why he sent Kareen looking for room dust.
Oh, gotcha.
I think Kareen is, I think she's going solo. And she's kind of mumbling to herself as she walks through the town, which I imagine has a lot of purple decorations, like the curtains are purple, or maybe someone paints the door purple to kind of match Andy. Just to see the aesthetic. Yeah. See, this is what you did now. We have to say this in sentence.
The Andy aesthetic. Yes, go on.
And it's great. And it's so great.
Right. You did this.
Andy is visible for miles. It's a real point of pride. Yeah.
Yeah. Andy pride. And so she's kind of mumbling to herself, and she's like, I thought that putting some room dust in the furnace would make it maybe be faster, but apparently it's too much, and now it's my fault that all the food got blown up with it. So it's fine. It's whatever.
Hey, so I just thought of something, and I feel like kind of an idiot for not realizing this sooner. Ticket can't meet any of these characters because she doesn't until episode 1.
Yep, that's right.
So how are we going to tell the story of Ticket getting onto the ship?
Well, let's
do it.
What I want to do is let's establish where the crew is.
Okay.
And then we're gonna see because we got a lot of questions. How does she know about the ship? Does she pick the ship on purpose? Does she just kind of stumble into it? We're gonna figure that out.
Right.
So I'm giving you some options. We're gonna lay the groundwork. So I'm gonna say this is the third day, right?
Okay.
And Kareen is still going. She scouted out maybe on the first couple of days, and she's finishing up her shopping because maybe she got some of the supplies earlier, and now she's getting more rune dust, but she's supposed to be getting fruit.
Right.
She's like, I'm not getting fruit. We need more rune dust. Why does my brother? What is his problem with fruit? I think he might have like an addiction. I'm concerned. But she's just talking to herself. No one's there.
Similar to my addiction to breathing,
Yeah.
which I can quit anytime.
I totally could.
I would recommend you don't. But what about the captain? What is Captain Flynn doing and Saoirse doing in Trinidad? I'm gonna say they had a mission. I'm gonna say that there was a mission. That they finished.
You alluded to it earlier, and I wasn't sure if it was something that I should be remembering, but I'm not.
No, we're making it up.
Gotcha. Okay.
They had finished a mission of some kind, and they're here to get their payment, get their what? I don't know. You tell me.
I like that one, to be honest. I like the idea that they just finished up something and they have to get the money for it.
Yeah, they completed their fetch quest.
Yeah.
We'll play it.
That would put Saoirse with any of the other crew members or alone, do you think?
I think she's with the captain.
Yeah.
I think they went together.
With the captain, okay.
Yeah, I think the captain. The captain like slams the door to the galley as he comes back out onto the deck, and he throws his coat on in a huff and just kind of like like jerks his head real quick at Saoirse to follow him. And I think Zatar starts to follow them also. Like maybe they were standing near each other, and
oh, Zatar, you may not want to this be exclusively directed only, I think.
The captain like whirls around at Zatar and says, "I'm holding you partially responsible for this." And he turns back around and starts heading towards the dock.
Ooh, please.
I don't. How?
I think Saoirse just kind of like does the gesture of like, you win some, you lose some, and like turns around and follows him.
No, I always lose some, I think.
Like Core, who's doing his level 1 scope, just kind of looking over at Andy.
Stance, yeah,
scoping stance, and he's like, "Hey, I guess we can hang out on the ship together if you want."
I'm going to go up in the. I need to practice my speaking up there. I don't.
Yep.
Listen, I don't
you can
have.
Just say no.
Okay, I didn't want to hurt your feelings, and I didn't. I don't have anything interesting to say or to do today, and I didn't want to try and force something. And so now here we are in this situation that you have created.
Hey, say no more. Say no more, Zeta. I get it. Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. Take advantage of that one life you have. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta live it out.
Oh boy.
I have asked you in the past not to continually force your religion on me.
There it is.
The YOLO isn't. It's not for me. I've got my own thing already. I thank you.
Which, by the way, we rarely ever talk about your thing. But again, I see what you're saying. We're not talking about it right now.
Are you asking?
Man.
Is this?
No, I'm gonna respect that you want to go be by yourself. I get it.
Well, no, I just think it's interesting that anytime my thing comes up is when
Oh my god.
And this continues.
Yeah. I'm starting to feel like Zatar has this weirdly contentious relationship with literally everyone in the crew.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a side effect of being events.
Yeah.
Yeah, when there's no one else to vents against.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
You turn on your crew.
Interesting. Oh, no.
So, okay, Captain Flynn and Saoirse are walking through Trinidad. They've got, Andy on their left. They've got the mountains on their right.
I love it.
Where do they go toward? I think they need to go to one of those places. I think that's where is it? Is it up in the mountains? Or is it by Andy?
I don't think it would be near Andy.
Okay. Yeah, it's in the foothills of the mountains. It's in that part of the city where it's not as residential, but it is a little more wild as they're getting towards the bigger slopes. And it is what kind of place is it that they were directed to come back to? Maybe it's just straight up a mansion, Maybe it's something huge.
Love a good mansion.
And ostentatious.
Yes.
And Saoirse says, I think we can be reasonably sure that this be the place.
Now, did they have to go up the carts to get up to this mansion? Is it up elevated?
Oh. Yes.
I think that's fine.
Yes. Okay, yes.
Okay, you
On
hop
to
in
the
one
carts.
of the carts that I think it can only fit like a handful of people.
Captain Flynn is like white knuckling, like if there's a handrail or a handle or something, he is just gripping it as hard as like he is not having a good time.
Especially since if my understanding of our relative sizes is correct, this can fit a small handful of people or one Captain Flynn and maybe one other person.
Yes. I think it's a wooden cart, and so maybe you guys don't got the money for the fancy cart. You hopped on the cheap one, and it's creaking. I think there's like, would someone be cranking a handle like on it, or is it back like someone's moving the whole line?
I think it's what like, you know how like ancient cranes were operated by people walking in like big wheels?
Yeah.
I think it's like that where like there's people at the bottom that are like operating the like continuous.
Ooh.
Is it like a hamster wheel, or is it?
Yes.
Are they moving a big crank?
Hamster wheel.
Right,
For
so
sure.
there's people in like a little hamster wheel walking, and that moves the line of this treadmill.
And like every single time there's like a shudder or a jump or a bump in the motion of the cart, he just tenses, and he is obviously very perturbed by riding in this cart.
Oh boy.
And I think probably at a certain point in the voyage upwards, he just says, "Oh, dash this to the rocks," and he jumps out the window, and like he like
opens the door and jumps out.
Yeah, like he leaves his coat with Saoirse, opens the door, jumps out, spreads his wings, and decides to fly instead.
I mean, I was going to make a joke about, a fear of heights, but clearly that's not the case. So I'm at a bit of a loss here myself.
I think he's waiting for her when the cart reaches the top, and he's kind of sheepishly takes his coat back.
Yeah, here's your coat back.
Yeah, and he says, he just says, "I don't like not being in control."
Well, that actually makes more sense.
He
fair.
Puts his coat on, and they go on their way.
Okay, so they're going to head towards. We've established there's a mansion at the top of this particular mountain foothill. They're not at the tippy top of the mountain, but you can see from here. You can see the whole city of Trinidad. The purple shingled roofs. I'm going to say, as far as like modern cities go, it's not that big, but for cities of this time, I'm going to say it's a notable one.
I would say probably quite a bit of civilization would spring up around Andy.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
One of these minutes, I'll get through a mention of Andy without laughing.
I won't.
Eventually.
Never. Andy for life.
Andy for life.
Andy's my guide, I would love if that also became
Nobody
a shirt.
else got me. I know Andy got me.
If we were to make like a t-shirt like Andy is my guide, you'd have to write fire is my guide.
Yes.
And people are like, so what does that mean? Fire is my guide. You have to say, I'm sorry, it's
actually Andy.
You're actually saying it wrong. Yeah.
That's pretty
I want
good.
this to be a sticker so bad, but we can't because it's only Patreon.
But it could be a Patreon sticker.
Yeah, it could be a Patreon
for the Triumph tier.
Guys, if you want Andy stickers, please let us know.
Let us know. We can make it. We know some people.
We can absolutely make a purple pillar that just says fire under it, and you can confuse all of your friends.
We're getting ready to do this Patreon recording, and we're like, the one thing we gotta answer is how did Ticket get on the ship? We're like a half hour in, and we can't stop talking about a pillar of fire.
We have not mentioned
Andy.
Ticket once.
Bro, if I was in this town, I wouldn't be able to stop talking about Andy either. It's crazy.
Yeah, that is a fair
pillar
point.
Of fire called Andy.
Yeah.
That's
Spelled
extremely good point.
Yeah. So they get to the mansion. Yeah.
Get to the mansion. A nice wooden. No, not wooden. It's a stone mansion. It's in the mountains. Big, nice mansion.
Is it gated?
Let me roll my dice.
Oh.
No gate. But I'm going to say that there are guards.
Sure.
So they got some guards. They're they're pale orcs. So you could tell similar to Core. Actually, I'm going to roll to see what kind of pale orcs. Okay, they are very determined. They're not like Core.
Oh.
You see, they're very focused.
You rolled for their personality. Okay.
Yeah, I did. One of them's like, "Hey, you two, come here, quick! Don't waste my time."
Flynn kind of rolls his eyes, and like as he walks up, he kind of like pulls the coat off to the sides of his shoulders, and like opens up his arms and kind of spins in a circle to show that he's like not carrying any weapons.
Okay. You guys here, guys got a purpose?
Are we not expected?
Ooh, that's a great question. Are they expected?
I just asked you that.
No, but I'm asking you, do you think they would be expected? I feel like the answer is no, because they kind of chose to come here kind of like because of this incident. So I'm going to say the answer is no. They rushed at your dad because of the explosion. So this probably wasn't like a scheduled meeting time.
Oh, I
Unless
see what
maybe
you're
that's
saying.
part of the 3 days. Maybe they arrived, set up the meeting, and now it's the third day, and it's...
Yes.
They have a meeting set up. So I'm going to go with...
Okay.
Are you then Captain Flynn?
Do you be having many Draconi Brodring captains around?
I'll be the one asking the question, sir.
Then by all means, ask away, I suppose.
Are you Captain Flynn?
Me? No.
Yeah, I think he just kind of like looks at her like what?
Okay, then please head right this way. Do not dally. And he gestures to the front entrance.
Big cheesy grin. We would never dream of dallying.
And then they walk very slowly to the front door.
I need you to roll dice now to see how pissed off you're going to make these guards.
All right. Should I
Both of
roll
us or
quick?
just Jake?
Should I roll fancy feet?
Yeah, you know what? Roll
Ooh.
fancy feet.
I have 0 in
difficulty
that.
2.
Just Flynn or...
Just Flynn. Just Flynn.
All right, yeah.
Because he's the one who said it.
All right.
This can only be bad. I have a 1 in dexterity and it's a 2 difficulty. So
Yes. What could go wrong?
that's just a failure. So
Failure. Beautiful. I think then the pale orc guard, he's like, hey, I specifically told you not to dally. And here you go, dallying. You bro drinks. You're all the same. Always causing trouble. Always wasting time.
Well, I'd be a bit more careful with me speech, sir. Your master was the one who hired Brodrings, so I wouldn't be insulting your clientele. I haven't thought of a name for this mystery benefactor yet.
Yeah, I think all three of us are literally waiting for someone else to say something about what we're doing, and I think we just need to start saying things.
Captain Flynn walks back over to the guard in question and gets pretty close and looks down and says, "Oh, so your shoe be untied."
He's totally gonna look down. He's like, "What are you talking about? I'm wearing just solid boots. That's not even laces."
And he headbutts him.
He looks down into it. Okay, make a melee attack.
Oh my god.
Attack this guy with physical.
Well, this took a turn.
Yeah, I guess we're fighting now. Also,
What's the
Jamie.
Do I get a boost because he's distracted?
Sure, you get a boost.
Yes.
Difficulty 2 because he's got some, armor, but not a ton. Also, Jamie Ticket can show up whenever.
No, she can't. That's the problem.
But she could be sneaking, maybe. She's sneaking.
Okay.
Maybe she sees them. I don't know.
Okay. Okay. This episode works if she sees them, but they can't see her. I feel like I'm trying to play a stealth video game. Yeah,
Correct.
and try to outline how this is going to go down.
That was the first dice roll of the game, was a stealth roll, so
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
I take it.
Okay.
Anyway, how'd that attack go?
It was everything canceled out, so it was a failure. So does that mean that I failed in headbutting him, or that this goes poorly?
It means you failed at headbutting him, which also leads to it going poorly.
Okay, wait.
So
wait, real quick.
fail?
Time out. Can I real quick?
Yeah.
Can I try to play it off like I tripped? Here's my proposition for you. I will try and roll like persuasion or charisma or something to play it off like it was unintentional. If this goes wrong, it will go very wrong.
I like that from it reminds me of Blades in the Dark, giving you a devil's bargain. We're all right, you can do this thing, but if you fail, I make it very worse. Yeah, difficulties 2 as well.
Okay.
They played off. You're just a clumsy captain who tripped.
Can the failure also be the guard was wearing a helmet?
Okay.
So when he tried to hit him with his head, it just didn't work.
It's a success.
Yeah.
Okay. So you go to headbutt him, and I'm gonna say he dodged is what he did. Because
Maybe he
not,
kneels down to look at his shoe.
that's funny. He knelt down to look at his shoe, and so he's swinging. He's not there, and he's like, "Hey, what was that?"
Pardon me. I'm not used to these altitudes. And he,
can you say something like, I tripped over my laces and you're not wearing shoes?
Yes. Yeah. And he goes, I perhaps it was my lace was untied. I seem to have tripped over my own shoes. And he turns back around and starts walking back with Saoirse.
Yeah.
And the guy goes, oh, well, happens to the best of us, as Captain Flynn walks away with not wearing shoes.
Yeah. Right. Bare clawed feet.
Barefoot. Yeah. Right, well, just don't waste any more of my time.
The thin air, you understand.
the gearsmith will see you soon.
Ooh.
I love that. Ooh. I love that. Yeah. So we must be heading towards some other room or something.
So you've entered into the mansion. I'm going to say you've been here before, right? So, okay. So you know where you're going. Maybe you walk down a hallway, and I'm going to say this space is very clean. It's a very clean manor, tiled floors, but not a lot of art, not a lot of decorations. But you do see that there's some windows leading to little courtyards that have sundials in them, and you see some pendulums swinging, and then eventually you walk into maybe like a library kind of area. So there's some scrolls and some books lined up. Quite a lot. This is more than you see in most places. That's just showing his wealth, right? His collection of of books and things. And you see there's a pale orc standing in the middle. There's a desk, and he seems to be tinkering with something, tweaking something. And he's got a long robe that's got like two tails that kind of drape on the ground. Both are like a pastel purple color. And as you enter, he doesn't turn around, and he says, "State your business."
Captain Flynn says, he just says, "We got what you asked for."
The orc turns around, and you can see he's got a monocle on as well. And he's holding, we would say, like, describe them as screwdrivers, but maybe they've got like little hooks at the end, like just small tools. And he's got some tiny metal bits in front of him. And he says, "Bring it quick."
The captain reaches into an inner pocket, and he pulls out a perfect cube of shiny metallic ore.
Excellent. Nice. Okay.
And he doesn't make a move to come forward. He just kind of holds it out in his hand, and he says, "Paratium's not an easy thing to come by. Living stone."
That's cool.
No,
that's cool.
I do believe the agreed upon payment did not entail the amount of grievance we suffered getting this. Wouldn't you agree, Saoirse?
I would indeed, Captain. In fact, the grievances, I'd say, were substantially more.
Double, even?
Ooh, it could be double.
The gearsmith, his face is just taut. Like, I mean, there's like no straight line. And he says, "Captain Flynn, are you trying to tell me that your inability to make this an efficient process means that my expenses must be doubled?"
Ooh. Yeah, Flynn's not events. It's not good with the conversation.
Now, I will say this. I will let you, you did a cool thing. I'm going to let you roll persuasion, though, even after saying that. I'll let you roll persuasion.
Okay.
And depending upon that roll, I think will determine what...
Yeah, what's the difficulty?
A 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta make this guy cool. And we are not ready for difficulty 3s as a party.
I will say this. I think you'll like this one. It's a success with a disadvantage.
Oh, I do. I do like it. Okay, so your success is you had asked for more money.
Yes.
And so you will succeed in this. The disadvantage is going to be that there will be an additional cost, I think. He says, "However, you have accomplished the task I set before you in a amount of time that I deemed quicker than budgeted for. So I shall meet your demand on one condition, Captain Flynn. The cost you're asking for is quite high, and so in order to give you double, you must hand over the Paratium and your trident. I am quite fascinated by how it works. A runeless device such as that. That is quite up my alley, sir.
The captain kind of looks sideways at Saoirse and says, I don't carry it on myself.
Then you shall have to fetch it.
I'd be willing to do just that, if it please ye. One moment. And he hands the paradium to Saoirse to hold.
Okay.
And he is there like a terrace or like a balcony or something?
Oh, there's got to be, right?
Sure. Well, there's a terrace that overlooks the. I'm gonna call it his. He's got like a garden of sundials.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. So he sheds his coat again, and he offers it like if there's a butler or something, like it's a mansion. So I'm assuming there's some, or maybe he hangs it on something that's definitely not a coat rack.
Yes, I'm gonna say there's a swinging pendulum, and he hangs it.
Yes.
On that, which like slows it down.
Yeah.
Considerably.
And he walks out into the garden and just takes like a big like intake of breath, and then spreads his wings and flies down towards the docks to retrieve the trident.
Okay, which will take some time.
Yeah.
I think at doing both of those things, wrecking disturbing the pendulum and wasting time now, the gearsmith is very. You see, starts like tapping his finger on his desk, and he goes, "This is worse."
Twill be but a moment, of course.
But a moment that I wish I could have for the rest of my life. Now squandered waiting. And I think we will now maybe cut to where Ticket is. Where is Ticket? We've established a couple locations.
Yeah.
Where's Ticket in all this?
So, Andy's probably a pretty well-known place, correct?
I would say so, yeah. Especially in this region. Like, it's probably like one of those, like, this is a landmark. Even if you don't live in Trinidad, you know about it.
Yeah.
You might even see it in the distance. Like, what's that?
You can probably see it above the mountains, yeah.
Right.
Maybe even. I'd say the mountain's pretty tall.
Well, how tall is Andy?
I guess we didn't establish how tall Andy is.
I was picturing Andy was this like disappearing into the clouds, like
right.
when you said pillar of
then
fire.
You know
I
what?
was like,
you know what?
tall is
You can see Andy over the mountains. Yes.
It just keeps sounding more and more like a person, no matter what we do.
How tall is Andy?
how's Andy doing? Do you think?
So-
like emotionally.
So the reason I was curious is because if this is if nearby Andy is a fairly bustling part of the city, there could be like shops and stuff.
Yeah, it's probably like vendors who cook their food by the fire of Andy.
By the fire of yes,
Andy roasted.
I love that.
Kebabs.
Okay.
Andy roasted almonds.
And it gives it like instead of making it like a burnt singe to it, it gives like black. It gives it like a deep purple when it burns things, because that's cool.
First of all, I love that.
They got to get hella sea spouts and tornadoes in this place.
Maybe
with all the warm air
interesting.
off of Andy, and then the cool air coming in off the sea.
It probably gets pretty crazy.
Raging, you might say.
I like the idea of any kind of clothing shop or any kind of place where you can get garments, hats, stuff like that. I picture someone leaving an establishment like that with some pieces of clothing that are very much intended to cover up someone's identity. A cloak, I want to say even a mask as well, and probably, I have to assume, seeing the notable form of a draconi like flying full tilt towards the harbor, which is pretty unusual, I would guess. I think this person. I wonder if the mask is just something very simple.
I think maybe it's just like a big cloak with a hood. Because is this person buying or stealing these things?
Oh, I was thinking buying, but now that you said steal, maybe I'll roll for that.
I want to steal.
Just leave it up to, I want to steal. Just leave it up to fate. What? How can I don't have a...
Do you want to use do you have the
I don't
S9
have a
back?
coin. I do have a coin.
Do you have the white force die, Jamie?
No, I weirdly don't know where it is.
That's my favorite. Because it has yes, no, very yes, and very no.
Oh, that's a good point.
Do you want me to roll it for you?
Yeah, go for it, yeah.
Okay. It is
Yes,
very
wait, before... Okay, I had this in my head that yes is buying, no is stealing.
Okay.
So you got very yes?
Yes. So for me, very yes is she spent all her money on this.
Spent all the money, all the remaining money. Yes.
She spent all of it.
Yeah, because it's a fancy shop for the tourists who come to the part of town where you can get to see Andy.
Because Ticket doesn't know how to budget.
She doesn't know how to budget. Absolutely not. So
what?
No. She doesn't know that there's other parts of town where you can get cheaper disguises.
She's not from here.
Cheaper
She's not from here.
disguises.
Yeah, exactly.
She just went to Andy because it's big.
She went to Andy because it was a landmark. Yeah. So she's got like...
So the hood, it's got to have like Andy like merch on it. Like it's like Andy branded.
Number one Andy fan. Fandy, one might say.
And the one is a pillar of fire.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Number one Fandy.
Number one
But number one Fandy doesn't work very well in writing because it's spelled like fire.
So it says number one Fire.
Oh boy. Yeah.
No, it just says number one fire.
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
You take the F from
Number
fan
one
and the F
fire.
from fire.
Yeah. So it's
not
I
one
hate
fire.
this.
But it actually
man.
that one spells out Fandy.
I was trying to think of like this semi-dramatic image of like a person on their own in this city that's unknown to them, like trying to cover up their identity. But now, because of y'all, it has to have these stupid phrases on
But
it.
also,
Like the hood.
Like we have
The
to.
hood says, yeah.
We also have to establish how she loses this amazing garment, because it definitely would have come up in conversation the moment the crew finds her.
I think she's going to get rid of it as soon as she decides to board this ship, right?
Okay. Well, leave the mystery. We don't know. We'll see.
All right. Fair enough. So
She spends her last allium pucks and gold pieces.
Her last allium pucks. Absolutely, yeah. And the hood and the cloak are like these brilliant, vivid shades of purple, and that's why they're so expensive, of course. And she's like, she's using like this bandana to cover up the lower part of her face that the hood doesn't cover up completely. And she is going to talk to someone near Andy, I suppose. Yeah. So she's just gonna go up to the first person she sees who in her mind seems like a source of information, and ask them how do she's trying to change her voice a little bit. How do passengers get on ships leaving this port? How does a sailor start that process?
Did she go up to like a merchant, do you think?
Yes.
All right.
And the guy says, I see you need a ship. I have ship. Very good price for ship. See, you buy ship. Yes.
I cannot buy a ship.
You drive a hard bargain, Mr. Number One.
What?
But I give you good price. I give you ship. I give you sales. I give you food. I think. Yes.
Okay. I can't. I don't have money for those things.
Hey, excuse me. Hey. And Ticket is interrupted by a human woman who walks up with a set. She's got some equipment on her side. She's carrying a bag. She's got like a small barrel underneath her arm. She's like, "Hey, excuse me.
Okay.
Where is the floofy fruit? Where is it?"
And the guy turns to the person who obviously has money and goes, yes, okay. The fruit I have for you. Yes, you buy?
No, I want to know where is
price.
the floofy fruit so I can... Look, I got this.
Yes, I have.
I'm trying to... You have the... Okay, no, let me see it. No, let me see it.
Yes, this way. Okay.
Oh, man.
And she follows the guy, I guess.
Yeah, and he walks over and points to a ship.
To what?
Oh, you have the fruit on your ship.
You buy?
No, I'm not buying your ship. I'm going to buy like 2 fruit. I don't want to buy like a whole ship
I
of
give
fruit.
you good price.
I don't care what your price is. Okay, what is your price? 1 allium puck? Maybe now we can talk about 1 allium puck.
It's too
maybe.
low. It's too low.
And that's all I'm going to give. No, how about this? I will give you 5 allium pucks for 1 barrel of your fruit.
He thinks for a second and goes, okay, I have no fruit, but...
Oh, wow. I was so shocked because you didn't show me any fruit. You showed me a ship.
Hey, but, I know someone with the fruit, okay?
Oh, you know somebody with the fruit? Let me guess. Is it your brother who looks just like you behind the other market?
Wow.
Get out of here. Go away. You're taking business away from me. Go.
No, I didn't want your business anyway. You're all the same here. Especially by the end. All you ever do is sell this cheap stuff. She like gestures to tickets like robe. This stuff will fall apart as soon as one big wind blows by. I don't want your fruit. I'm gonna go get the real fruit, okay? I don't even want... You know what? I'm not even going to get the fruit. I don't even want it.
And he's just like yelling to passers-by. Do not listen to her. I sell best ship, good price. If you need a ship, I sell you good price. Very nice. Buy ship.
Oh boy.
Sales. Also sell sales. Yes.
I think she like not even fully turning, just kind of turns to Ticket and says, I don't know what you were trying to buy from this guy, but it ain't worth it. And then she just walks away.
Yeah. I don't suppose you know how to...
Karine has walked away.
Yes.
Karine has walked away.
Yeah, she's gone. Cool. Ticket is just going to... So far, this has been kind of a bust for Ticket, not gonna lie. Mm-hmm. So maybe she's just gonna go to the harbor. Just like follow as the Draconi flies just start walking that direction, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think
that's what she's following, yeah.
It's probably a combination of two things then, because Karine is going to be heading that direction. She's gotten other stuff. And you see the Draconi, who... I'm imagining the mountains, for some reason, are on the other side of the city than Andy.
Yeah.
So maybe, like, when you first see it, you're just like, oh, there's a red flying thing.
Yeah.
That's not probably normal. Maybe. Maybe there's red flying things. But you don't see a lot.
Not probably normal, maybe.
Probably not normal, maybe?
Yeah.
So you see both of those. You see the Draconi land as you get to the harbor, and you see Karine walk up to the same ship.
Maybe this moment... I feel like this moment where like that conversation she just had, seeing the flying figure heading towards the ship, looking down at the insanely expensive disguise she just bought, which was not really actually that helpful. I think this is the moment where she kind of makes the decision of like, okay, so maybe trying to find out all the proper channels of how to get on a ship and secure passage is not for me, and decides that things are going to have to be a little more unorthodox. Yeah.
I'm going to say Karine sets down the barrel she had under her arm next to the gangplank to the ship, where there's a couple other barrels and boxes, and she like snaps her finger and she's like, Cord, how about you get up for once and maybe help me carry some of these boxes into the ship? No, and like she can't hear Cord from this far. No, I know you're working on your scoping stance. You're very good at... Just carry one box. And then you can take a nap for the rest of your day. How about this? So like Cord comes down.
Has Captain Flynn landed by this point?
Oh yeah, he's landed. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I think like he has now come back out of the captain's quarters with the trident, and hears Karine like yelling up at Kor, and he barks at Kor like, Kor, earn your keep, and then flies off again.
Kor only stands up as he's flying away. He's like, all right, geez. Keep your wings on. Okay.
I like that.
Love it.
Where do we go next? Do we follow the captain or stick a ticket?
I was going to incorporate hiding behind the boxes and barrels, but then I was like, no, because they're about to load those onto the ship. So that doesn't totally work.
You could get in a box or barrel.
Could she get in a box or a barrel?
We
got to try. How is this going to work?
Or sneaky.
Roll for sneaky.
I'm gonna be honest. I want to say difficulty 1 mainly because canonically she needs to get in somehow.
That's the thing. Like, we're running the risk of breaking the time streams here.
But for the fact of the matter that they're actively moving towards these boxes, I think it's got to be at least a difficulty 2. I think that's the facts.
Luckily, we have a check in sneaky, but is that in the future of where we are now?
Nope, you haven't gotten that yet.
No, none of us have leveled up.
This will be interesting. I am so intrigued to know what happens if this goes poorly.
Me too. Welcome to the game. Because she's got to get on that ship.
Okay.
Or we're breaking her timeline right away.
I have 2 advantages and 2 failures.
Okay, this is great.
So, Ticket tries to hide inside a box or a barrel.
Okay, no,
and it doesn't work.
So, ready for this one?
I'm already ready. Yeah.
Okay, so you try to open one of the barrels or boxes, right? It doesn't open. It's clearly shut, and so she's trying. And Core comes down, and he's like, "Oh, hey, you're here to help carry this stuff? Awesome. Yeah, just grab that and just bring it in with me. That'd be great.
Oh, my
Appreciate
lord.
Yes.
Oh, my lord.
Appreciate the help, stranger." And like pats her on the back. Life is just treating me good. Coming up, Core.
I think she just nods. Yeah, she's just like, I'm just not going to say anything. And helps carry stuff onto the ship.
Yes.
Boy, this really recontextualizes, like, when the captain asks her, "Are you lucky?"
Yes.
Because now I'm starting to think the answer is literally yes.
Literally yes,
like,
I think so.
Supernaturally so,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes. Now, I think maybe Core grabs like one barrel, and so it's one of those things like he's holding a big one. So when Kareen walks by, she doesn't see Ticket walking up behind him, like one of those cartoon moments.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
dramatic
awesome.
irony is thick.
Yeah. And so Core sets down down in the storage area. He sets it down. Whew. Well, that's enough for me. That's one. Thanks for the hands. And he just walks away. He doesn't even notice that Ticket's still there.
Yes.
This is incredible. Yeah. Ticket is as truly befuddled as I am right now, which is good. So I guess she, not knowing what else to do, is just like gonna hide.
Now, here's what I love about what we've done so far.
Yeah.
You still have the cloak, and you're on the ship, which means
Yeah.
the cloak is still on the Kaiserion.
Yes.
But she
A
takes
really, really unhelpful, extremely expensive cloak that says #1 fire fan, if I'm not mistaken, is somewhere on the Kaiserion.
Yes.
Sure.
it off. And folks who are listening to this, that will then maybe come up in many, many episodes because we're quite far recorded in advance. But it'll come up.
I'm struggling to see how this could possibly help or hinder the plot in any way, but knowing Knight's Quest, the possibility is out there, man.
It's the most vital thing ever.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, what does she do? Okay, so she settles down.
She's like successfully gotten onto the ship, I guess.
Yeah.
So she heard them talking about, she heard them talking about the lack of fruit.
I do think Kareen, maybe she hears as Kareen walks by and she's like, I should probably get like some, or is it Tara's going to like kill me or something? So I gotta go back and get some fruit.
Oh boy.
Or maybe even like you might hear her like says like she puts down like clearly like one basket full of fruit, like, and that's it. I did my job, okay?
I'm having such a struggle with, like, what can Ticket do that is interesting in this story I'm telling, but also
honestly,
gets us to the place we need to be.
I feel like just, like, tie her up, and then let's jump back over to whatever the hell is going on with the captain.
Saoirse just sitting in this mansion awkwardly waiting for her boss to come back. Yeah, I guess Ticket just, like, takes one of the pieces of fruit, like, lowers the hood, looks around at the weird storeroom she's in, and kind of thinks, like, I guess this is where I'm at in my life, and eats the fruit, right? I can't, like, that's what she would do. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I think just to kind of help maybe give people...
Yes, by all means, please.
Who came here for some ticket lore.
Yeah.
What? And we don't want to play all our cards.
Yeah.
But now we were talking about this a little bit in preparation. What is Ticket thinking about as she's on a ship?
Ooh, yeah.
What are the emotions she's feeling?
Besides the anxiety that I feel like everyone probably already knew was there, Here's what I'm thinking. She's gonna take out of her pocket. She's gonna unfold a piece of paper and look at it, and it is indeed just a very hastily drawn map of like a really rough outline of a coast with some buildings and an arrow pointing out to sea. And she's just gonna kind of nod at it like, "Yep, mission accomplished, I guess." But she is also going to look down at a burn on, I think, her right arm. And when she is looking at that, to answer your question of what she's feeling, the two big ones are fear and guilt. But she is determined to set sail on this ship. I don't know if I want to actually give you any more than that. I realize this was a bit of a lame answer, though.
We'll come back to it.
Okay.
I think as the ship sails, we'll maybe get like one final line that she speaks. So the captain, he flies back up towards the mountain, which I imagine this much flying is probably still pretty exhausting. Like, I don't think he's the kind of guy that like flies crazy long distances. Jake, would you agree?
Yes.
So how do you think he lands back in the gearsmith's room?
Like, you know how birds kind of like when they come to land, they kind of flutter up and back and like put their legs out and stop.
Yeah.
He doesn't do that.
Okay.
He kind of has to come to like a bit of a running stop and like kind of staggers through the door, maybe knocks something over.
Knocks over the pendulum his coat was on.
Yes, definitely knocks that. And he like picks up his coat and like apologizes.
Does he apologize?
Yeah, like he's not actually apologizing. He just like he hits something and like his knee jerk reaction is oh sorry.
Yeah, totally.
I think in the time that you've been gone, the gearsmith has returned to his work.
Sure.
I don't think he made any attempt at small talk. I think he just he said what he said.
Saoirse did though. Saoirse did.
Yes.
And he just did not respond.
Yes.
So she's like, and that's why, all in all, the rainfall patterns of the southern coast have been growing steadily more northward, if you take things from a unilateral perspective of the weather patterns of the region.
He sees Flynn arrive, and he looks at him and he says, "Excellent. You have ceased to waste my time. Hand over the trident, and I shall make sure your payment is received in full. Double what we had talked about previously."
I think he deliberately takes some time, like putting his coat back on and walking back over to Saoirse to retrieve the cube of parodium. And he turns back to the gearsmith and he says, "Payment first, if you don't mind."
Yeah, roll persuasion. It's a move.
Can I help in some way?
I think so.
I don't know what that would be.
You tell me how you help, and he gets a boost.
What's the difficulty?
It's gonna be 3 still. Gearsmith is
it's a competent orc, yeah.
He's a competent orc. He's a high level guy. How does Saoirse help?
How about?
I mean, she's the one holding was holding the parodium.
Yeah, she was holding the parodium. Her winningest smile and you understand, customs of the sea, of course.
Sure. Jake, did that actually help?
I don't know yet.
Oh. He just rolled it.
It was gonna be a failure with 2 disadvantages. Now it's a success with 2 disadvantages.
Okay.
Okay. I think he then mimics your smile, but in a mocking way. He goes, "Ah, yes. Customs of the sea." And he snaps his finger, and one of the guards quickly walks over, hands over the bag. You see that it is the size bag that you have. That is not double. This is a single bag worth right here.
Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah. So then I think the captain motions to Saoirse to hand over the parodium, but he keeps holding on to the trident.
Okay. So she does.
All right.
Keeping a very close eye on the captain because she is not 100% sure what's going on here.
And he says, "Half payment for half delivery."
Snaps again. Another guy walks up. Another bag, holds it out. He says, "For the trident."
He takes the bag and kind of weighs it in his hand a little bit, and like really looks like he's mulling it over, and he almost like pained, like relinquishes the trident, like he doesn't want to, but he lets it go.
So I was picturing one disadvantage was obviously the complication of the payment system.
Okay.
But the second disadvantage is, I think, it's got to be you have now even more so wasted his time by not just giving him the thing and he gives it, like making it more complicated. And so I'm going to say he is very much on edge, which you can tell because he's tapping again. And he seems to be tapping at a faster frequency as the pendulum swinging. So if the pendulum is like once every measure, he's doing like every eighth note kind of deal.
Flynn knocked over the pendulum. Did that get set back up?
Oh yeah, as soon as you knocked it over, a guard came and set it back up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they did have a lot of time to... Oh, no, he knocked it over after he came back? Oh, that's right.
As he was coming in,
I'm going to say, okay, maybe they've been and like they have to wait. Okay, and release. They're clearly trying to get it back in sync with whatever it is. And you are going to hear from the gearsmith. He says, nothing is more valuable than our time. You see, we only live once. And to waste even a second is to defame that which has created it for us. And so I question truly how good and noble you Brodrings must be if you not only waste my coin, but waste my mere life itself.
I need a minute to process that.
The captain now he has one bag, Saoirse has the other. Well, in the interest of not wasting your valuable time, I think we'll take our leave, being that we do have your coin to waste as well. And he turns, and as he does so, he knocks the pendulum over again with his tail as they're walking out of the room.
Saoirse follows, genuinely kind of shocked. If there's a scheme afoot here, she's not following it.
I think as they leave, knocking over the pendulum, the gearsmith says, "I would say it has been a pleasure, but again, wasting words is nearly just as bad as time." As they're walking out of the room, Flynn like turns around as he's walking backwards and does this like comically low bow.
That's pretty good.
As he's backing out of the room.
And the gearsmith says, "Get off my property."
Lord.
And so they are escorted out by the guards, and I think
definitely
they walk out.
Oh yeah.
Does Saoirse like ask him what's going on? Maybe they're walking towards the box to go back down.
Right. I think she says, "I find myself wishing Zatar were here when it's time for one last zinger towards one who would get the last laugh in a conversation like this. I find my own skills lacking, Captain."
I do believe I might have broken that thing there at the end. Toward my intention, but I'd be lying if I said it didn't give me a smile.
Speaking of your intentions, Captain, I confess I find myself surprised at our lack of trident.
He holds up the two bags and he says, Saoirse, don't you worry. Zatar's not the only one capable of getting the last laugh.
Yes, so what are the...
It's good writing.
Zipline? What are we calling them? What is it?
So
what is the word?
We could take the cable car.
Cable car.
Or we could take a zip line because we're going down now.
Oh, are there zip lines for going down?
Yes.
Okay.
The image of Captain Flynn holding onto a zip line is the funniest thing in the world to me.
Like a length of distance that holding on for that long would maybe be too long to actually like hold on and not let go.
Maybe it's in stages. Maybe it's like short zips down.
Oh, sure. There's like little chunks of it
to the pier.
Yeah.
Now, would he be into it? Because are you more or less in control on a zip line than on a weird little gondola box?
I think he's not worried about because he's not trapped. Like at any point he could let go and just like fly off. You know?
Sure.
All right, so the ziplining down. At what point, Jake, does the con, for better lack of a word, when does that pull off?
I think it would have to be when they get back to the ship because like the Trident wouldn't be able to like show up anywhere over the course of this zip line, you know?
Or what if it does? Like maybe he reaches.
Yes.
What?
Yeah, they get like down after like the second or third zip line and they're getting ready to grab the next handle and he reaches up and closes his hands, but instead of closing over the handle of the zip line, he brings back down the Trident and goes, I'd hoped to be rid of you this time.
Interesting. Okay.
And it's at this point that not right away, but maybe a couple seconds later, you do hear almost like the sound of a clock bell ringing coming from the mansion, like dong, 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 in sync with the pendulum swings.
Of course.
Okay.
And you see some of the there's probably some orcs stationed at each point of the zip line. They kind of look up towards it, and then they look towards you, and they're kind of suspicious, like, "Oh, where'd that Trident come from?"
Yeah, he doesn't even respond. He just, I want to say he's got like a back like scabbard for it, but I also don't think that that's very likely. Because he doesn't like carry it on him really. He's just gonna one-handed like hold onto the zip line and have the other hand on the Trident. Or like
awesome.
hold the Trident as he's like holding onto the thing and just goes for it.
Hang on. We've established that Saoirse has daggers, right? Mm-hmm. Is it completely beyond the pale to say, as we're going down this zip line, because now we are doing a proper escape, cut the zip line?
Yes.
So like she slides down it, and they're like coming after, and she cuts it.
Yeah.
That's so
Yes.
good.
I'm glad. Yeah.
I'm gonna have her roll.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Just roll an attack. It's difficulty 1. It's a rope, but I just want to.
You said an attack?
Yeah, you're attacking
Against
the rope.
rope's
Difficulty
Sure.
1. Yeah, it's a rope.
Sure.
It's not moving. It's a rope.
Yeah, totally.
Difficulty 1.
So I roll my weapon handling.
Yeah.
That's good. Because we have success even. Just
Great.
success.
All right, that does exactly what we want. Maybe one of the orcs gets on it. He's coming down towards you, like, "Hey, what? You guys are running, and that seems like it's sketched up." And you cut it, and then he's like, "Oh!" and he falls. And the other guy who was like still up there, is like, "Oh no, guys!"
I like these guards who just say exactly what they're thinking
they're
at all
very
times.
They don't waste time.
Yeah.
Don't waste time. Don't waste words. Let's see, you guys are now booking it to the Kaiserion.
Oh yeah.
I think it's at this point, as you know, there's a little bit of a hullabaloo as people are coming after you. That Kareen kind of goes like this. Okay, everything is loaded up. Now I should have a little bit of time to maybe relax before we have to set sail later today.
Just like really far away. Kareen! Get ready to what is the word for a ship leaving? I can't think of
Set
words.
sail, raise anchor.
Get ready to raise anchor.
What do you mean raise anchor? When we weren't leaving till later tonight. And she sees you both book it, and she's like,
Oh yeah.
okay. And she walks over to the like portion of the ship where she like stands on the big rune.
Yeah.
And some rune dust falls out of her pants and raises up anchor.
I'm never gonna get over that, yeah.
No. And she takes a look off at Andy and she's like, I was hoping to maybe do some sightseeing, but I guess this is what I'll be seeing. This is the sight I'm seeing. Hello, there you are.
Technically that has been accomplished, yeah.
Yeah, they never let me get any R&R. Core takes it all up.
It's a limited resource, yeah.
Yep.
Cord, lower the sailors. We're leaving. What? Oh, he sees him running. He does like get up. He's like, oh, oops. Oh.
Was he actually asleep?
You don't know. Sleeping, chilling, whatever. He's like, oh, yo, all right, Sills.
Excellent.
And before they can know it, I think I imagine I picture that Saoirse is able to run on, and they start leaving, and Captain Flynn like flies the last couple ways onto the ship. As maybe a couple of orcs are chasing behind him, like, you know, shaking their fists. Does Captain Flynn have any final words as they're pulling out from port?
No, I think he probably with the help of Saoirse, like pulls the gangplank in.
Right when Saoirse gets to the top of the gangplank and gets to the ship itself, she yells back at the orcs, "We'll not be wasting any more of your time then."
Yeah, and I think Flynn, he like kind of jabs the trident towards the dock and says, "Allow me to help you get back to your master expeditiously." And he like jabs the trident at the dock, and it like this little like wave crashes over and washes them back towards the pier.
And I think they set sail away from the port we haven't named yet, away from Trinidad, away from Andy, into wide open waters of the raging sea. And they get back resettled, I assume. Any last things people do before we catch up with the beginning of episode 1?
Ticket probably wasn't able to like see.
No, she saw none of that.
Yeah. She's
probably actually startled that they're leaving already. She's like, oh,
yeah. Suddenly the ship's just moving. Yeah,
we're moving.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't think Saoirse has. I think Saoirse just like catches her breath after all that nonsense. So she doesn't have anything in particular she's doing. Ticket, of course, is below deck. She didn't see the big ending to that chase and the. The sprinting, ready to fight, ready to attack people who were chasing after the Captain Saoirse. But if she had seen that, it would have been quite the familiar sight.
Oh.
That was simultaneous.
A little bit of juicy tease right there.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, I think Kor continues to just go back to his scoping, and I think Kareen, still wanting her little break, is just going to stop, and as they've drifted away from port and it's no longer in view, is just going to lean over the railing looking over the raging sea. How about Zatar?
Zatar's hungry. He wants to know where the fruit is.
So he approaches his sister?
He does.
She says something like, "So, you ready for some adventuring?"
Oh my gosh, I am just so ready to eat this fruit that you got me.
No, that's where we resume episode 1.
Yeah.
From there. Well, thank you all for joining our first Rage of the Sea Patreon episode.
Oh, Lord.
What a journey. What a journey.
That was strange.
Isn't that every Patreon episode, though?
I felt more constrained by invisible strings than the story arc where we literally had everyone constrained by invisible strings.
What was more constraining for you? The fact that we know where this goes, like because it's a prequel? Or was it just that you felt like, I need this to be good?
Or the fact that we peeked at Andy.
No, it like in seriousness, it was not that bad. I just had a little bit of like, I've never played a character who by causality is not allowed to interact with the other character.
Well, we proved that to be incorrect.
That's true. Yeah.
She
we got
interacted
around
with 2 other characters.
Yeah. Maybe Ticket will develop a penchant for like masks and disguises later in the story and just like become a master of changing faces. Yeah.
That's what I was hoping, is that this episode would just be formative. It would help us as we play these characters later on. It's like, okay, now we got a little bit more some of their background that we can work with as we tell the main story. And who knows, we might find that cloak again. We might encounter the gearsmith again. Who knows?
Yeah, we're gonna be at some like really tense moment of the story, and this figure is gonna show up wearing an outfit that says #1 fire, and someone's gonna be like, "What in the world does fire mean?" And she's gonna be like, "It's pronounced Fandy." And then she's gonna punch him or steal from him or something.
Yeah, climactic moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think I want to say, just as we release the episode, can we do one episode every month? And we'll be doing a poll to see what more stuff you guys want to see from Rage of the Sea. Do you want to have us do more of, we pose a question and we try to answer it? Do you want to have it be, we're not going to give too much background in lore of the characters. We're going to save that for the main show. Would you rather we did a totally separate story, totally separate adventure, but takes place in the same world, same time period, with all some of the characters, just so we can not feel constricted, right? We can just do whatever we want.
Right. That's something we have a little bit of experience with from Song of the Hero, is taking places and characters that are elsewhere in the world from our main campaign and exploring that and seeing how that goes and what we can learn about the world itself. Yeah.
Do you want more stuff about Andy? Just we dive deep into that. We create some more lore about the Gearsmith, what's going on. Just focus in on this. I'd be down. I'd be down for that. Rename the Patreon tiers to be Fandies.
Fandies.
Let me hear your thoughts. Let me hear your thoughts, folks.
The first two tiers are both Andy, and the third one is the word fire, but it's still pronounced Andy.
Only true patrons know.
Only true patrons know about Fandy.
The Andy tier.
Yeah, you know how, but that's it. I'm going to make this a rule. I'm going to make this a law now.
Oh,
fans of Knight's Quest are questies.
Okay.
But the deep cut people, we know we're Fandies. If you're a real you're a fan.
Come on, man.
But of course it is spelled fire. I'm going to say it's spelled fire with 2 Fs.
Yep.
That's how I spelled Fandy. Fire with 2 Fs.
The lore has gotten so weird already from day one.
Very good. It's very, very good.
All right. Thank you, guys. We'll see you in the next episode.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you, Fandies.
Thanks, Fandies.
Thank you, Fandies.